I think it's kind of what we expect. He just plays. He's got a real good feel, very confident in himself. And, the game comes easy to him. He's open, he shoots it. If there's space, he drives it. If he's covered, he moves it on. Plays both ends of the floor. He played really good defense tonight, I thought. He was physical, tough. And I'm just really thrilled for him and excited for, I think, we can be satisfied presently for what he's done, but you can tell there's a lot more in there. He's really special.
How about your thoughts on the team as a whole?
Well, in the first half, we took 17 threes and 8 two-point shots. So I was really disappointed in that aspect. I felt like we had an advantage in the post offensively, and I wanted to try to exploit that, and we were jacking threes. Now, that said, we had good shooters shooting some open threes that didn't go. But what ultimately I think was the difference, when you look at the stats, it's 38 free throw attempts. Now, we missed 10 shots, we made 28. So you got to throw it inside, you got to drive the ball, and you can't settle for threes when a team is really competing and being up in your space. I was really impressed with this team on film. They did not play well on Tuesday night. And so you knew you were going to get a fight. You knew they were going to compete. I know Kareem, and I know, how he's coached. And those kids are talented and quick. And, I knew they would go small at some point and go off the dribble. But there was a stretch there, Pat, where we were playing with no swag at all. And it's one of the things I pointed out. We gotta attack. We gotta move it. We gotta play like we're supposed to win the game. And that's when everything changed.
How important then was Joe coming up for you from three in that first half and nobody else?
Well, the first half he was the only one hitting. And that said, we're still up 11. The bank three, changes things a little bit. I thought it was a good defensive possession. You get a guy shooting a step back three from 28 feet, you're probably not going to make it, but it banks in. That's basketball. I'd like to have played a little better at the start of the second half. I think that was obvious. I made wholesale changes. I thought that group came in and really picked us up. And I thought the first group came back and did what they're supposed to. I'm really proud of them.
What did Macy give you tonight?
Macy gives you a lot because, he handles the ball, he beats the post, he defends, he makes shots. He does everything you need him to do. He doesn't force anything. He doesn't make mistakes where he's putting his head down and driving into packs of people. He just kind of plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. And, with his length, with this team going off the dribble, that was very helpful.
Jack Nungy's decision, how did it come about? What do you think about it, and what does it mean?
Well, I support him. I think it makes a lot of sense. We tried last year to squeeze 6 guys into 4 spots. Didn't work. We would have had to do 5. I think Jack saw that. I think Jack Nungy has a chance to be special, really special. And I think a lot of times when everybody thinks you need to redshirt that first year, I think it's better to redshirt the second year. Play the first, get your feet wet. He started some games. He had some really good games. He struggled at times. And you're going to see a guy come back next year at probably in the 245 range. He's going to go to work right now, and he's going to be really, really good for 3 years. So I'm thrilled for him.
And, excuse me, along those lines, what does this mean for Ryan Kriener? And you must obviously feel like he's ready to take on a significant role.
Ryan Kriener was terrific tonight. He had 8 rebounds. And Cordell, I'm really pleased with him. I thought he was in there in a stretch where he did some really good stuff. So I'm comfortable. But Garza and Cook are going to get a lot of minutes. And then you got Kriener and you got Cordell, who are really good. They're juniors, they're veterans. And then if I need to, I can squeeze Nicholas Baer into that 4 spot if I have to. We got a lot more options this year. And we saw that tonight.
Nick's defense was quite a bit tonight. It seemed like the guys were able to transition from one to the other pretty well.
Did a really good job communicating. When you're playing a team like this, Rob, it almost doesn't matter what you're in. They're just gonna move it, and go. Like, somebody's gonna drive. They were driving on a 1-3-1. They were driving on a 2-3. They drove on a 3-2. They drove against 1-2-2, and they drove against man-to-man. It's what they do. So, you know, towards the end of the game, I thought we played our best 2-3 zone, and we kind of kept them in front of us, and we had a lead, and they were taking a lot of time before they shot. So it's hard to come back if you're down double digits and you're taking 30 seconds off the shot clock, especially if you miss. And we kept running. We got some transition passes. We were in the bonus at that point. Actually, we were in the double bonus at that point. So now you just put it on the deck and shoot two.
How in your program does a player make a decision to redshirt? Is that a mutual thing? Or is it, if a player comes to you and says, I want to do this, is that the end of it?
Well, I'd prefer not to make it and tell a guy he's redshirting. I can recommend it. You know, in Jack's case, I think he felt like he was okay either way, but felt like, looking at the situation, it was prudent for him to make this decision. Keep in mind, when a guy redshirts, so he and CJ today, they had an intense lift and they had a skill development workout. They got a ton of shots up. So it's not like, you know, you see him in a suit, he's not sitting over there like a spectator. He's grinding. And he'll grind in practice, both of them will. And they'll come back ready next year. It will help us space the classes out a little bit.
Take one more question.
16 turnovers is not a concern. What do you think caused that?
Well, I mean, it was a little bit of a scrambled game, so I'm not overly concerned with it. What I'm more concerned is we had more assists, or more turns than assists. You know, I thought Connor came in, did a really good job, got the ball inside a few times, really moved it, took some pressure off of J-Bo. He was in the game in a critical portion when we kind of pulled ahead. So again, you know, I felt good with our ability to handle the ball when we needed to.
Okay. Thanks,
Thank you.
Coach.
Yeah.
Players next door.